3 dot training is sort of 2/5 the way done. Uh, Grubby might now get a good creep jack off if Remind doesn't dust. Oh no, he was running out of windwalk, so he had to kill a dot. I say had to. Um, Grubby now comes in, gets in the snare off on one of the dots, and immediately starts pounding down a Wand of Lightning Shield on the Blade Master. So good against dots, but he's currently only hitting his own units. He should really be more careful. And this Blade Master taking a lot of damage now. Uses a heal scroll, but he's going to have to run it back. There it goes back. And it looks like he's going to have to run out of this creep jack. Obviously it wasn't a huge creep jack, but it looks like the Ancient of War might go down. Mana burn on the TC, and actually claws on the TC. You should probably pass that. I'm not sure. Did he have to give the Blade Master something to no, I don't think he used an invuln pot. Does now pass a third clause to the Blade Master, so plus 20. So it's very nice by him. I think I'm going to be playing in next week's Zotac. So if any of you want to join in, maybe we'll get lucky and I'll be able to play you. In the past that I've played, I haven't done fantastically, but I've made it a couple rounds sometimes, and I've been kicked. To be fair, when I've made it far, I've been beaten by some decent players sometimes. So I'm not overly disappointed with how I've done. And level 3 on the Torn Chieftain now. Sorry. I think it's a really fun competition because if you're lucky, you can. There's generally not a huge, or there's generally sort of hundreds of players, but maybe 10 or 15 names which you will know in the game. And so if you can make it through a couple rounds, your chances of actually being defeated by someone who's amazing is actually pretty good, and it's always good fun to play against one of your idols. Like I've played against Space and people like that before, and that's been really good fun, because it's one of my favorite players. Sorry, Demon Hunter goes down there. I was just been a bit sort of distracted just talking about myself. Presumably you saw that as fairly standard, just getting the ensnare and then killing, and then Beastmaster going down again, and so that's 2 heroes down, and Remind hasn't picked up his Tinker yet, so this could be very bad for Remind, despite me calling it for him. I think I might be cursed a bit here. Ensnare on the Grunt that had a Lightning Shield, and that will cancel out the Lightning Shield. And the shop now going down. Grubby unable to try and kill this Ultra. I imagine Remind has bought his Demon Hunter back at the tavern, and it's just going to have to do so much tanking at this point. There's one Moonwell with a bit of Moon Juice in it, but otherwise I think Grubby's just going to go for the dots at this point. 2 really low ones here going into very nice protected place, actually. This is something I really like about this base build. Look at how protected he can have his dots. He can just put them here and have them really lay fire down, and Beastmaster back now for Remind. I'm really sorry, guys, about sort of droning on about myself while Grubby killed a hero, but I assume you saw it, and I wouldn't really have that much to say about it apart from, look, he's killing a hero. And Grubby, I saw on the info stream that he was building a Great Hall, but I don't see it. Maybe he cancelled it. Oh, maybe it's this peon here going for a Great Hall. Fake Raider, Grubby's bought a Staff of Illusion. This is something that Moon often does. It's actually really good against Cyclone. I think I've actually said this all before. If you check one of my previous ones, I've done so many Night Elf versus Orc now that I've probably said everything I know about this a couple times. I'm surprised Remind hasn't bought a Tinker yet. Maybe he doesn't have the economy because he's had to rebuy 2 heroes, but he's had tier 3 for a while now, even before he lost 2 heroes. Maybe there's some sort of new tier 2 hero strat that I'm not aware of, but 3 heroes are just so amazing with dots because you really have such incredible tanking power. And yeah, here's the expansion here from Grubby. Grubby knows that he has the advantage. He's got a couple hero kills, a couple unit kills. Remind doesn't have much Moon Juice, and he knows where Remind's army is because of this Raider just harassing a bit, and so that means that he's in a safe place to build an expansion because, I mean, he's probably gonna win anyways, but he's more likely to win if he builds his expansion. I mean, he'll be in a slightly weaker position for a short period of time, but then it means that in the longer game, when Remind's more likely to win without the expansion, Grubby's chances will be improved. And a fake Torn Chieftain here, I can't imagine Remind's going to actually buy this and mana burn it, but I guess it's good for scouting, and I'm not sure. No, I don't think. I think it's fake endurance, or I forget how this works. It's fake endurance aura, but it shows it, but it doesn't have increased speed. I was thinking maybe he'd be doing it because it could scout faster, but surely he'd create a fake Blade Master for that because it has the boots. And Remind, I think not paying attention there maybe, and gets his his Demon Hunter grunded, and finally buys a Tinker, but has to TP out almost immediately to save that Demon Hunter. And Grubby immediately Remind forgot 2 dots, and Grubby does scout this, but it doesn't decide to go for it. I guess they're too far away at this point. And in some of the games, I'll probably do some commentaries on some of the other games I've seen today. I've seen some very good use of bird form for dots. If you've watched any of them, you might know what I'm talking about. There's one game against Grubby where his opponent messed up and accidentally turned them all to a bird form. But I've seen a couple good games, not against Grubby, where there's been some very interesting use of it. And Thorn Chieftain now level 4, so obviously this is very good for Grubby now. Bringing 4 peons down just in time for the expansion to finish. This is something that always amazes me. Obviously they have it on hotkey and they can constantly check out, but whenever I'm doing this I always forget, or I bring them down a bit too early, or forget, and it's mid battle, and then I lose 500 gold's worth of mining time or whatever. And Grubby quickly getting off Shockwave before he runs back. He had that Demon Hunter ensnared so that it couldn't mana burn him, and I imagine he's going to try and keep the Storm Chieftain near the back so that it can't be mana burned until his Shockwave's ready again. And I think he'll be ready very soon, and he's going to use it probably as soon as possible. That Demon Hunter's already ensnared, but Remind moves his army back. Grubby does manage to get a good Shockwave off. Look at that. All his Remind's dots are already half hit points, and the battle hasn't even really started. And Tinker, already killed. That's the power of the Blade Master with 3 claws, I think it was. Yeah, 3 claws. And Grubby, look at these amazing items for Grubby. Uses an Invuln Pot, and Fairy Dragon now in Mana Flare form, which is so powerful. Mana burn on the Torn Chieftain, but only for 18 mana. And Grubby really getting his good positioning on now. He's keeping these dots surrounded, and Remind says good game, and says there's been host problems. So we'll go on to game 3 in just a sec. Okay, folks, let's get game 3 started here between Grubby and Remind. This is it's 1-1 between them, and this is on Turtle Rock, and it's close spawns, and hopefully they'll be okay with the hosts now. I've commentated the beginning of 2 games now, and they've both just left because of bad hosting problems. But hopefully this will be good. Obviously it's close spawns, which is probably going to be good for Remind. Obviously it's hard to say exactly, but I think despite the obvious harassing possibilities of the Blade Master on Wisps immediately, the sort of tier 2 push from Remind can just be so strong, because you can just staff back your hero once you're done harassing, heal it up on Moonwells, and then bring it straight back. And I think that's just so strong, and I think one of Grubby's weaknesses actually is harassment. I mean, obviously he's very good at not being harassed, but by Grubby's weakness being harassment, I mean that harassment against him, not him harassing, sorry. Demon Hunter Blade Master being built, I can just see that on the info feed. I won't check on the altars, but I can assure you that's what's happening. And sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, I think Grubby's obviously very good at sort of limiting the damage from harassment, but I think there are orcs who are better than him at it, and certainly that isn't his forte in my opinion. And they're both now just scouting at close spawns. Remind scouted the peon, and will just now scout the base just to be sure. And very standard stuff. Obviously Grubby going for burrow on each side of the Great Hall, and I will try and remember to put up that article. Actually, I'll also put up a really funny clip I saw recently of Lucifer, who you may know is an undead player, just falling off his chair. It sounds mundane, but it is one of the funnier things you'll see a Warcraft 3 player do. And Grubby immediately going shopping. No, obviously his shop isn't done. He's immediately going probably to this shop, or to this orange camp here. Let's see. Yeah, he's going to that shop there. Meanwhile, while Remind's now coming, Grubby has his scout peon there. That's something he does often, just to be sure. And I think he will be able to get this away. 100 hit points left, 65. 14 no, he won't be able to, and sorry about that. The peon does go down, and well, Grubby does rebuild it, so that's fairly standard. And he cancelled his shop actually. I guess because of that harassment was coming, and he knew that the shop would be cancelled otherwise. Meanwhile, Grubby just item creeping by the looks of it, got a claws, bought a circlets and a dust, and sold his TP. And he hasn't rebuilt his shop. Maybe he'll rebuild it in the center of the map or something, bringing all his wood peons in at the same time. This is just so that he can get enough lumber to tack. It's a bit faster, in case you don't know. If they all bring in, say, like 5 lumber, then that's a bit faster than having to wait for them all to get to 10 and then coming in. And Grubby's putting in 2 peons in his burrow and to do a bit of damage to the Demon Hunter. I'm not even sure it's worth it, really. It's such little damage. But I guess every little bit's worth it. And Blade Master now coming in, wind walking, so he can't be mana burnt immediately.